Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Tanzil Mirza. Today's video is not about any particular code or programming language or any kind of tips and tricks. It's about deploying your project from your local machine to the internet so that everyone else can use your application, website or API or whatever it is. So this video is going to be quite lengthy. Uh, I'll try to keep it short and crisp and to the point. So first we'll create an Angular application. A very basic Angular application is enough, I guess. A very simple hello world application will do. Then we'll create a service and uh, we'll create a service on portal Azure. Then we'll deploy this Angular application on that service. Okay. Then we'll create build pipelines. We'll create some release pipelines. Manually we'll create, then we'll see how they are triggered automatically. At last we'll see continuous integration and continuous deployment as well. So without much ado, let's get our hands dirty. So guys, first thing let me tell you, to deploy your application and to keep it running, you have to have active accounts on MS Azure, and you also need to have a subscription to create a service. So that subscription can be a free trial, as in my case it's a free trial for 30 days, and you can purchase it also, but a free subscription will do with limited access, but it will do. Okay, so first I'll log into the portal. So the website is, that portal URL is portal.azure.com. Okay, I'll log in with my personal account. I should have done this before starting this video, but it's good. No, I can show you everything from the scratch now. So the password is, and guys, feel free to skip these parts if, because these are time consuming and straightforward, this login and all. Okay, so this is the landing page of portal Azure. You can see we have tenant properties, we'll see that later. We have app services, we have subscriptions. So the first thing, we need to create an app service, and we have a subscription. First I'll show you the subscription. Let's go to the subscription, and as you can see I have one subscription. These values are loading. Azure subscription 1, and current cost is 0.00, and that's okay because it's a free account. Okay, and the status is active, so you can see your subscriptions here. Then I'll go to the app services. As you can see, I already have two services running and status is running. I'm not going to use any of these two. I'll create a fresh one. Okay, let's click on add, and a form should come up. It's not coming up, I don't know why. Okay, it's trying to load something. Okay, so the subscription is Azure subscription 1, that I'm not going to change. I don't have any other subscription anyway. Now resource group, I'm going to create a new resource. Okay, just give it a name. What okay, since I'm going to create a very basic Angular application, let's call it, what do we call, cars maybe. We'll make it we'll create an Angular application that will simply show you all the cars, I mean the information related to the cars. I'll keep it DevOps cars DevOps. Okay, and then I'll go to the instance details. The name will be cars DevOps. I'm giving the same name. You can use any other name. You are free to change this thing. Okay, I'm keeping the same, cars DevOps. And one more thing is, be careful with the name that you provide here, because this is going to be the URL of your website, the Angular application, when it is finally deployed. So the URL will be like cars-devops.azure websites.net. So this name followed by this domain. Okay, so be careful with this name. Okay, cars DevOps done. Publish. Code run stack, I'll choose .NET 3.1 LTS. Operating system, let it be Windows. Region, okay, since I'm in India, I'm looking for South Asia, but I don't think it's there. Okay, for now let's keep it East Asia. And then it's loading something. Free F1. Okay, review and create. If you do not have a subscription, guys, you cannot create all these services, so at least you have to have a free subscription. And please feel free to skip these parts, because this loading and all will definitely consume some time. Okay, now I'll just cross check once. Done. I'll click on create. It is initializing the deployment of the service. Okay, it has already started. Deployment is in progress. uh, I'm going to pause this video here. I'll come back once this is done. Okay, so finally we have your deployment is complete. This is done. Okay, right now if I click on go to resources, it will open a detailed page for car DevOps, the service that we just created, and on the right hand side some information should come. Yeah, now it's here. So this is the URL. See, I told you, know, the name that you are going to provide there is the instance details, car DevOps dot azure websites dot net. So if I let me just copy it and I'll open this URL. Let's see what's there, what it says. Okay, so nice. Okay, our app service is up and running. That's good news. And now it is saying that time to take next step and deploy your code. This is it's understood because we haven't deployed any code yet. To deploy the code, I'll keep it like that only. I'm not going to close it. I'll come back here later. Now we'll open one more website, dev.azure.com. So that was portal.azure.com, this was, and this is our uh, dev.azure.com. I'm going to push my code here. This is like you can say, if you're not very well versed with Azure, you can compare it with GitHub repo. So we'll create a project in our local and I'll push the code here. Then this code I'll deploy on this service that we just created on this portal. Okay, so okay, I'm already signed in. I'll go to sign into Azure DevOps. Okay, so this is the landing page, and you can see on the left hand side I have organizations. This is my organization, and you can create more organizations. So there is one organization, and under that you can have multiple projects. So my organization have I have an organization, Mirza Tanzil, and under that I have two projects. So what I'll do, I'll create a new project. I'll simply create a new project and I'll call it cars. Description is not compulsory. I'll not provide any information here. This has to be private. I'm keeping it private. Okay, version control, git and all. Just press on create. Okay, so this is our project. Okay, this is the welcome note, welcome to the project. But right now if you go to the files, repos, files, yeah, I'm sure you will see this cars is empty, add some code. That's because we have just created a repo, an empty repo. We haven't pushed any code to this. So now I'm going to push that code. I'll minimize this thing. I'll open my git bash. I'll go to the documents. I'm creating it here, and what I'll do, I'll create a new Angular project, new cars. So be careful that the name which I'm giving here should match exactly with the name that I have given to the repository on Azure. Cars, this is cars. Here also it is cars. correct. Okay, so the project has been created and successfully initialized it. Now I'll navigate into these cars and I'll open the code, and I'll just minimize it. I don't need this right now. Now what we have to do, this particular code we have to push it to this repository. So commands have already been given under this heading, push an existing repository from command line. So this is what, these are two separate commands. Okay, the first one I'm going to run is this, paste it here, remote origin has been added, and now the last command, oops, what happened, let me push it to the repo, will take some time, few seconds maybe. Pushed. Now I'll refresh this page, let's see if the code is there. Yeah, nice. So now we have the code also. Now what we have to do now, I'll create a pipeline quickly. We'll create a pipeline. So there are two pipelines, and what are pipelines, let me tell you very quickly. We'll give a very brief intro. So pipelines, you can see you can think of pipelines as stages of your application. So there are build pipelines, there are release pipelines, there are jobs, and inside each job there can be multiple tasks. So these are the set of tasks that will be mm, uh, that will perform upon your application. So the build pipeline, you can think the stage where the application is compiled. Then we have the release pipeline. This is the stage where your application is deployed to the repository. Then we have deploy pipeline, deploy stage. This is the stage where your code is deployed to the production. So we'll see these things one by one, but first we'll have to create a pipeline. So how do we create a pipeline? On the left panel you can see pipelines. I'll go to the pipelines. Okay, here you can see create your first pipeline. Just click on that. Okay, so these are the templates. I'm not going to use any of this. I'll just create this, use classic editor. Okay, so once we have this thing, now what I'll do, this things looks good. Cars master, generally it has to be master. Then I'll go to continue, and I need an empty job. Empty there were templates, but I chose empty so that I can give tasks of my own. Okay, so this looks good. Done. I'm going to create one task. This is job one, and inside one job you can have multiple tasks. So the first task is to employ the not employ, what I'm telling, is to install the Angular CLI. So it has to be an npm related task. I'll just type npm and this thing will come up, npm install. Yeah, the first one, add, and once added just click on this thing, a detail will come up. So display name, I'm changing it to Angular CLI. This is because the task should reflect the display name should reflect the purpose of the task. So I'm just keeping it Angular CLI, and it has to be installed. There are others option as well, but I'll not go into that. Install this, I'm not going to touch this thing. Done. Nothing. I'll create one more. So the second task has to be build. So I'll call it ng build. No, my bad, I have to add a task. So same thing, I'll open up npm, again click here, name I'll ng build, and this has to be a custom command. Okay, the command I'll specify over here. Working folder I'll not touch. This has to be ng, not ng, it has to be run ng build hyphen prod. That means in production mode. Okay, done. Mm, I'll add one more. See, there's no OK, add or save button. I'm just keep on adding it. Now the third task, the last task, is to build our artifact. So we'll search for publish, something like that should come up. rt hmm, publish artifact. Yeah, this one I was looking for. Publish build artifacts. I'll add it. Go to the details. Display name I'm not going to change, but path to publish I'll change. It has to be your dist folder, and you don't have this folder right now, but when this build will occur, the second task, this folder will automatically be created. So in the third task I'm pointing to that only. Artifact name will be drop, nothing else. I'll just do save and queue. Comment, no comments. Nothing, just click on save and run. So it's starting. Agent job has started. Let's see. Now the task that we just specified, that will be executed one by one. So as you can see, all these tasks are created, executed successfully. Now you can go back. Okay, so here you can see agent job 1 state as is success. And one more thing I wanted to show you, that information, where is that? Where it should come up. Okay, let me go back to the pipelines again. Yeah, see this information manually triggered for this master, and this was a commit, initial commit, manually triggered. So right now what we just did, I specified a set of tasks and I triggered the build pipeline manually. After some time I'll tell you how to do it automatically, so that you don't have to come back again and again. I'll come to that. So first let's complete the basic things. So build pipeline is there, but what we need a release pipeline. We haven't released our code yet. Now I'll go back to the pipelines, and under pipelines there is releases. Just click on that. No release pipeline is found, obviously. Now we'll create new pipeline. Okay, there are several templates, and since we already have a service deployed right here, we just deployed a service already running here. So since we already have that, I'm going to choose the first one, Azure App Service Deployment. Click on apply. Staging and all I'm not going to touch, let it be like that. Now I'll click on one job, one task. So here we have, okay, now we'll add a subscription. Let me complete this thing first. I'll add a subscription, and in my case from the drop down I selected this one, and the first time it should be asking for authorize. Just click on authorize. It will ask for your email, so the same email with which I'm doing all these stuff, Mirza Tanzil outlook.com, and then it should ask for the password for the same account. Let's see, kind of slow. And the password is, yeah, password I'm not going to pronounce. Okay, let it complete the verification, and once this is done, this will go away. This should go away. Okay, done. Now app service name, go to the drop down. Let's see what all services are there. Why it's not taking the service? App service name, why it's not taking? Let me refresh it. The service is deployed. No, we just checked. new release pipeline. Hmm, select a template. Okay, again I'll have to do all that. I want to see the service. What's wrong with that? Service connections, let me give this one. Okay, the first time it was asking me the Azure subscription, but both are same. I'll go to the first one. Okay, both are same. Ah, now it came. I don't know what was the problem, but now it came. So these are all the services that I've already created here. Okay, now which one we created just now? Cars DevOps. I'll click on car DevOps, and okay, this being done, I'll click on save. Folders and comments, no, just click on OK. Now just click on this name. Let's see the details. Okay, display name is this, not going to change. Connection time is this, subscription is this. Okay, app service name, everything looks good, but yeah, package or folder we have to change. We don't need this one. I'll click on three dots. Here we have to specify what it is asking. No artifact sources. Okay, I got it. That's my mistake. I'm sorry guys. I'll go to the pipeline. What it is asking for, it is asking for the artifacts, and I haven't added any artifacts. So before doing all this drama, first of all, I should have added an artifact. So let's first do that, otherwise it will keep on complaining. So first click on add an artifact. You guys please don't commit this mistake. First of all, you have to add an artifact. Now this thing came up. Source type is this, project is cars, source and build pipeline is, the build pipeline was cars CI. Okay, done. I'll add it. Done. Now we have to do all these things. So after completing this, just press on this. We'll go back. Yeah, package or folder. Now it is coming up. So we need drop folder. Your artifacts are in drop folder. We need this one, this drop. So make sure you have a URL like this, underscore cars, whatever your project name is, cars CI, and then hyphen drop. Okay, done. Now this being done, I'll click on save. No comments, just click on OK. Now it's time to create a release pipeline manually. This being done, we have saved everything. Now I'll click on create release. Okay, we don't need to fill up this information, it will take everything by itself. Now I'll just click on create. Okay, here you can see release 1 has been created. I'll click on this. See, this also I triggered manually. Here you can see everything is been queued, so the status is queued. Let's click on that and see all the logs. It's doing something. It's doing its job. Okay, it's trying to connect. Let's wait, let it complete everything. Okay, now it's in progress. Initialize job. Here it is doing its things. Artifacts downloading. Let it complete. Finally, after all the tasks, it succeeded. Now we can see succeed, and this was manually triggered as I told you. Okay, let's close this. Now everything has been done, release has been done. Now what we'll do, I'll go back to the portal. Here it was deployed, this is what we got, and at that time it was saying that deploy your code. Now I'll just refresh it. Okay, the service is unavailable. What happened? Let me refresh it. Okay, car DevOps. Let's see. Okay, now it is saying that you do not have permissions to view this directory or page. Okay, I wasn't expecting this thing. I know how to solve this issue, but I don't want it to cover this thing in this video, otherwise it's going to be long. I'm confused right now what to do. Okay, I'll show you this quickly. I'll create someday, if time permits, I'll create a separate video uh, how to solve this thing, but let's do it quickly. Okay, I'll go back to the portal, car DevOps. Okay, I'll go to the configuration. You can skip this part because I don't think you'll be getting this error. So for you, after the release pipeline, you should be able to see your project running perfectly, but since this has come now, we'll have to deal with it. Okay, I went back to the service, cast DevOps, configuration I clicked, and then I'll have to go to the path mappings. And then this last thing, virtual path, physical path, this thing we have to change. I'll put one more slash, and then what's the name of our application? Cars, right? So here also I'll put cars. Okay, save, continue. This wasn't planned, guys, sorry for that. Okay, successfully updated web app settings. I'll go back there and let me try to hit this URL once more, and it should come up now. Yeah, so now it's working. It is working, guys. So this is how you deploy your code. Now I'm going to tell you, let me go back to the pipelines. Now I'm going to tell you the the power of continuous integration and continuous deployment. Till now everything was manual. I'll tell you what's the advantage of that. Okay, first let me tell you the disadvantage of not having a CI and CD. This is my code. Go to the app component HTML. Okay, I'm going to add one more thing. Let's say I'm going to add one more, and I'll add this thing style I want to give. This is not required, but just to make it fancy. Okay, h1 style is this style, where it is coming from. Okay, h1, I'm just putting it like that. I have a Mercedes. I don't have a Mercedes, but let it be. I have a Mercedes, and we'll close this. I have saved this code. Now again what we'll do, get let me check the status. Get status, get add, get commit, added a note like that, get push origin master. I'm just pushing everything to the master directly, but generally this should not be the case. Okay, master to master, this has been pushed. I'll go back, refresh the page, refresh my website, and nothing will happen because I have to go back to the pipeline. I'll have to create a new pipeline. Or why should I create a new pipeline? I just trigger it again. Don't go back to the pipeline, just three dots, and run this again. I'll rerun the same pipeline. So again it will go to the agent job 1, and again it will start all its tasks. When this is completed, okay, let it complete first, then I'll tell you what to do. Okay, so this has been completed now. Okay, I'll go back to the website, our application, and I'll refresh it. See, no changes. That's because I haven't triggered the release pipeline. I'll go to the releases. Here I have to trigger a new release manually. I'll go to create releases, task and everything that we have already specified, so we don't need to do it again and again. I'll just click on create. Now release 2 has been triggered, and this is also manual, so here you can see release 2 has been queued. Now it will start this is queued, and now this will also start executing all the tasks. Okay, after a few seconds this is also completed. So release 2 is also succeeded. Now I'll go back to the application, I'll refresh the code. Now you should be able to, finally now you should be able to see the changes that we have pushed. See, so this much you have to do, and that's very painful, guys. That's quite painful. This was one single change, but just imagine that you have to make changes every now and then, and you have to push it again, trigger the build pipelines, release pipelines manually. So that's quite painful. Okay, now I'm going to tell you how to do it in a continuous fashion, how to do it in a automatic fashion. Okay, now I'll go back to the pipelines. First we'll configure the pipeline. Okay, this one we have to configure. Edit, I'll go to edit, I'll go to edit, and there you will see this tab, triggers. Inside triggers there is one option for these cards that enable continuous integration. This one we have done. Just click on that. Once this is done, just click on save. Don't queue it, just click save and save. Done. Done. Okay, now we'll do the same for release pipeline. I'll go to pipelines, releases. We'll do the same for this. Here I'm going to click edit. Okay, edit. Now here you can see this power button, and if you hover on this button it will say continuous deployment trigger. Just click on that, and continuous deployment trigger, it was disabled. I'm going to enable it. Save it. No comments. Okay, click on releases. Done. Okay, this has been done. Now since now we have enabled everything on continuous basis, now I'll go back to the code. I'll show you something. Let me just remove these things. I don't need this anymore. Okay, this thing, and I'm going to add one more. So two changes we have done, and I'm going to put an h3 tag. Here I'll say, and I love and I love burgers and pizza. I'll save the code, go back to git add, git commit, added some text, git push origin master, let it push. Once this is pushed, okay, once this is pushed, you can go back to pipelines, and pipelines you will realize that, see here, it's been already triggered by something. Okay, this has already been queued. I didn't triggered anything, I didn't trigger anything. This is queued by itself and just now. So again it will run all these tasks. See, this one is already staged and it's running, so it will do everything by itself since we have. So again the same set of tasks, let it complete. Okay, so once this is done, I'll go back to the pipelines releases. Let's see. A new release should be triggered, it's supposed to be triggered. Let me refresh and see what's happening. Why it's not triggered? Let me look into the problem. Okay guys, just now I realized that here there is a notification, pipelines in your region may be impacted by a live site incident resulting possible pipeline delays. Check status here. Let's check the status, what it says, and it looks like some service maintenance is in effect. And since I'm in India, these pipelines is also affected. These countries are pipelines in these countries are affected. Since I'm in India, this is also affected. So it's just a coincidence that by the time I was creating this video, and by the time we were doing these things, they went for a maintenance. And something is there, Mac OS hosted pool maintenance week 14. Okay, what to do? I guess we'll have to wait. Okay, this is bad. Okay, we don't want to go into that detail. They are into maintenance, let them do the things. Okay, but guys, trust me, we have enabled CI and CD. Once they are done with the maintenance, a new release pipeline will automatic in your I'm sure by the time you will be watching this video and doing this stuff on your machine, I'm sure you won't be getting this problem, this maintenance thing. Okay, so new release will automatically pop up here, and it will again run all its tasks. It will do all the things, and then what you have to do at last, you don't have to do anything. You just go to the page, refresh it, I mean your application, just refresh it, and you will be able to see everything. So for now, what happened? This also went for the maintenance or what? Okay, okay, this has changed. I think I think release has already been done. Yeah, I think release has already been done, but let me do it once more just to make sure. Okay, just to make sure I'm again doing it. Hello world, git add, git commit, added message, git push, origin, master. It's pushing the code. Again, there are only 3 release pipelines. I'll go back to the pipelines. Again, it is queued. Let it complete. Let's let it complete. Okay, this is completed. Now I'll go back to the releases. Let's see what's happening there. Oh, nice. Okay, they are back. See here, one release 4 has already been triggered. I did not trigger anything. I did not touch anything. So after that was completed, one trigger has already been done. One release trigger. Okay, this is also completed. I'll go back there. Let's refresh it, and you should be able to see all the changes that we just did there in our local. So this is the beauty of CI and CD. That's the power of Azure. So you can add more tasks according to your project, according to your requirements. You can see here we got. So this is how it is done. I think, I hope this was helpful. I hope I was able to explain at least the basics of CI and CD with Azure. Please feel free to comment if you have any doubt. I'll try to solve as quickly as possible. And we can have a Zoom call, or you can put it on a Stack Overflow and just paste the question link in the comment. I'll try to solve it as quickly as possible. And that's all for today, guys. Wish you all the very best. Happy coding, guys. Bye bye.